And now, 6'1", from Chicago, Illinois, your host for the Give and Go Hoop Show, Low Battle. Hey, what's up now? It's Give and Go time. We're going to touch on a little subject today called Back to the Basics Euro Style. And it's just my point of view of why Allen Iverson will not succeed when he went over to Turkey to play ball. I've been checking it out, briefly. And the other day, I think he scored 4 points. Now, that can either be because he's just getting used to playing again because he has set out a while, or it could be the mere fact that he lost it altogether and maybe AI just ain't got it no more. But I beg to differ. And I'm going to tell you why. I just happened to be in Europe at this particular time and checking out a little bit of basketball over here. And I'm telling you, people, it's not what you're used to seeing, to be quite honest. I mean, it's a totally different ball game. And when I say back to the basics, that's just what it is. It's a game that's back to the old way of playing basketball. These coaches over here ain't like the coaches in the NBA. They ain't putting up with the crybaby and I'm a prima donna and I mean they literally play ball the way ball is meant to be played. The basics, you stretch, you work out, you warm up right, you do this, you listen to your coach, you listen to your trainers. Remember the guy who said it's practice, y'all? Well, guess what? He in a place where they really care about practice. They really care about practice, AI over here in Europe. And so you're going to have a hard time. And I give you an example. I mean, look at some of the players who've come over here. I mean, most recently, let's go back and look at Brandon Jennings. Okay, Brandon Jennings came over here straight out of high school because he didn't want to go to college or whatever the case may be. And you remember, if you remember correctly, he had some struggles when he was over here playing. When he was playing ball in Europe, he had some struggles. I mean, they was thinking that he was going to be a bust, and it was a big mistake for him to come over here and play and everything like that. It wasn't the fact that it was a mistake for him to come to play. It's just the simple fact that they require things over here in Europe that they don't require in the NBA. They don't require at your high school. They don't require in college. They don't require it, except one college, the Factory. I said, but other than that, they don't require it. It's called discipline. The NBA doesn't require discipline. I mean, that's really what it all boils down to. There's no discipline required in the NBA. Once you're a known name and everybody recognizes who you are, it is what it is. I mean, at that point, you're basically looking at stuff like, where individuals get to go and just, they know the referees know them, they call them by first name basis. The referees got their favorite players who they're going to let slide with things and, get away with stuff. Well, guess what? That's not the case over in Europe. They don't, hey, everybody's just a player. And, they pay some more than they pay others. But the truth of the matter is, it's just a whole different game. I'll give you a good example. Brandon Jennings, for instance. When he was over here playing in Europe, Brandon was averaging 7.6 points a game and 1.6 assists a game. Now, he came to the NBA and he went to the Milwaukee Bucks. He's doubled his output as far as points is concerned. He did like 15.5, I believe it was last year or something like that. And he's almost quadrupled or tripled his assist ratio to 5.7. Why do you think that is? Because it's just a different type of game in the NBA. NBA is entertainment, it's loose. I mean, if you watch the game real close, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love watching NBA basketball and everything like that, but the truth of the matter, if you watch it, defense is lax, they see somebody going to basket for a dunk, they be like, okay, well, go ahead and let them dunk it, as opposed to defending him. I mean, it's just a different type of game. The required things, they got an AI probably going to have to do things he haven't done since Biddy basketball. He's going to have to listen to coaches that he's never had to listen to before. He's going to have to do things he's never required to do before. So therefore, that's what's making it such a difficult situation for him, because he's required to do things that he didn't necessarily have to do in the NBA. I can assure you, if AI was to go back to the NBA and some team was to have him, he'll go from scoring 4 points when he first came out for his first couple of games to scoring like 20 points because he's AI. But it ain't going to happen. I guarantee you, he signed a 2-year deal. By the end of this year, AI be talking about he's through with it. He's ready to go back. It ain't working for him, and, his agent going to be working the phones feverishly trying to get him back on some NBA team so he can return back to what he was used to. Because I'm telling you, European ball don't work for every NBA player. However, there is a player that it worked for. If you look behind me, you're going to see a picture of somebody. I don't know if you can make it out, but I'll tell you who it is. His name is Casey Jacobson. And for those of you who remember, way back in the day, Casey about 32 years old right now. Casey played for Stanford, and he also played back in the day, for the Memphis Grizzlies, a few other teams in the NBA. I mean, he, not as short, not a stellar career or anything like that. But you know what? Casey got the one thing in college that Brandon Jennings, A, didn't go to college, and B, Allen Iverson didn't necessarily get in Georgetown. He got the fundamentals and he got discipline when he came to play, when he played at Stanford. And guess what? It's really amazing. I went to a game the other day in Germany, and I was checking out Casey Jacobson, who happens to play for a team called the Bros Baskets. And they're out of Bamberg, Germany, where I just happened to be at the particular time. And I went and watched the game. It was funny. Number one, he is the star of the team. He is the star. He's the number one star of the team. But number two is Casey Jacobson. I watched the game. He's not walking around like a prima donna. Matter of fact, he gives the ball up more than he should to the players who don't even have half the talent he got. But he makes them feel all part of the team. He lets the game come to him. He did, and they love him over here in Europe. And the Bamberg team happened to win the European for their division. They happened to win the championship 2 years in a row with Casey Jacobson. And guess who the finals MVP was? Casey Jacobson. And guess who is the captain of the team? Casey Jacobson. Okay? And why is it that he was able to come over here in Europe and flourish and succeed? And don't play the race card on me. But why is it that he was able to come over here and flourish and succeed where Brandon Jennings was struggling? And then some other, I can't even remember who that other high school player was that came over here, the big tall guy, and he, basically didn't make it one season. And it's the same reason AI won't succeed as well. Because Casey Jacobson always understood team ball. He always understood the fundamentals, and he always been a team player. And that's what they want over here in Europe. They love their basketball, but let's just put it honestly. Brandon Jennings, Allen Iverson, and all the Stephon Marbury over in Japan or whatever the case. Let me just leave you with one word. 2 words, I'm sorry. Ticket sellers. That's the only reason they're here, to sell tickets. They're not here to score 30 points a game. If they can score 30 points a game in their system, great. But they never could do it because it requires discipline. So that's basically what I got to run down to you today for. And just, it is what it is. Back to basics, Euro style, AI won't make it. May all your jump shots hit the bottom of the net. Life, love, and hoop forever. Peace.
Who that?